The Senator from Middlesex, Mr. Lewis.
Mr. President, thank you. I filed this amendment in response to an egregious issue that was brought to my attention by one of my constituents. And this constituent, who was going through a very difficult period in his life at the time and was temporarily homeless, who was struggling with some other financial issues, he was still making the effort every day to get to his job, which required him to drive on the Massachusetts Turnpike and go through the toll plazas. Unfortunately, because he didn't really have a kind of permanent residence at the time, he didn't realize that he was racking up fines because he wasn't paying his tolls. I guess his credit card, had expired. That happens to many of us. There was some problem with the billing procedure. He was not made aware of that. So he was, going to work every day just trying to hold things together. His life was, in a shambles, but he's doing his best. And he doesn't realize that, he owes these E-ZPass tolls. So he racked up $300 in unpaid tolls through E-ZPass and was assessed $20,000 in fines for the $300 in unpaid tolls. $20,000, which, can you imagine, in the position he was already in, how is he supposed to pay $20,000? So this, was a huge burden. He had to go through a lot of difficulty to try to negotiate with E-ZPass to work something out. This is not unique to my constituent. I'm seeing nodding heads around the room. In fact, I look across at the senator from Everett, who I believe also had an issue with excessive E-ZPass fines, again, due to something that he was not even aware of with his credit card having expired. So, Mr. President, I think this is a simple and reasonable amendment. It's a good consumer protection measure for our constituents. What it would do is that the Mass Department of Transportation would be required to regularly review fees and fines assessed on electronic toll collection account holders, and at least once a month, the department will be required to contact account holders with a balance of unpaid tolls of more than $100. And they will be required to try to work with that account holder to remedy their outstanding balance and help prevent further fees and fines from being accrued. So the efforts that they would have to undertake would include comparing the address information that is on file with the National Change of Address Registry, because a lot of times this is because people change addresses and the system doesn't get updated, communicating with the account holder by email if possible, perhaps by phone if they have a phone number. In other words, make a serious effort to contact the account holder, discuss the unpaid tolls, what's the reason for that, and work with them to get that balance paid off and avoid unnecessary and excessive fees and fines. Mr. President, I'm very sorry that this amendment, if adopted today, can't help my constituent, but I do truly hope that with this simple amendment, we can help many of our constituents in the future. Mr. President, I ask when the vote is taken, it be taken by a call of the yeas and nays.